Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 110 of the Back 9 Six-Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin.
In person.
I can already tell just by the energy in the room that this episode is going to be so great. We're going to get off the rails.
I'm just going to go ahead and do this.
Hold on, let me put this mic down for a second. Ugh. There we go.
All right, that cranberry's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm a cranberry guy, so.
Welcome to Justin's Bar. Welcome to our, it's going to be a group therapy session tonight, I think. I think we need it. The high noons are going to get us there. I texted you earlier. I was like, should I just bring the whole 8-pack? So we got no free ads, but look, the day pack and high noon.
Yeah, these are good.
Is money.
Yeah,
these are the best 4 flavors.
I was worried about the cranberry tasting like a cough medicine. It doesn't. No cough medicine taste.
And like I said, I think this is a high floor pack, so I think cranberry is my least favorite of the bunch, but still very good. Yep.
We got Tiger and Tiger back here.
If people can still see that. This Tiger right here, very figurative and metaphorical and symbolic.
That we'll get into.
of Justin's recent times. His putter's broken, so we'll get into that a little bit later too. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of adult stuff right now. We've got a kid coming in August.
Yeah.
So naturally, we decided to renovate like the entire house. This one does.
Not that you have enough stress going on.
No. So this week is floor renovation or floor restoration. Floor refinishing is the word I'm looking for.
God.
Week. So shout out to my in-laws that we're staying with them. It's been great, all that. But there's still an element of like, you're not in your space. We're in their space.
Yeah.
We have 2 dogs and 2 kids.
And they've probably got their own like schedule down pat.
Oh yeah.
You're wrecking that. You're wrecking what's on the TV.
And we're wrecking what, our schedule is. The kids are all off track. It's the whole thing.
They think they're on vacation because they're at grandma and grandpa's.
Exactly. Sugars and TV on repeat. So yeah, I'm very glad to be sitting across from you here just to get out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also wanted to shout out the public libraries. Look, I had to go to a library today to work. I had a couple meetings in the afternoon. So Midpoint by us, they're actually the new one over in the
yeah. Brand new, month old.
They've got study rooms in there. I took up about 4 hours for some meeting time this afternoon, which was awesome. So
yeah, it looks nice. I've not been in there yet, though. Yeah. I don't go into libraries much.
You're more of an audiobook guy. Which, it is what it is. Well, thank you all for watching, listening. Please smash the like, subscribe, rate, review the show. Follow us on social media at Back9Sixpack. No fan mail tonight, but we'll get to that hopefully next week. If somebody has something out there.
I think this episode is going to spur some serious fan mail.
I think so too.
Maybe some condolences.
Some pain.
Some emotional support, maybe.
All of that. That link's always down in the show description, so please check that out if you want to send us something. I mentioned the therapy. You just want to dive right on it?
Yeah, we might as well get into it.
Okay, well, I think it started, we'll say it started Wednesday night.
Yeah, because preface this whole situation that happened today, I realized I made a mistake. I have not played much golf. And when I knew I had this tournament coming up on Monday, I was like, I got to catch up on golf. Like I got to get on the course and play some rounds of golf. And I think I've overdone it.
Got out of this.
I think I've overdone it. I think that I'm not realizing that I'm 35 years old and I'm not built to play 5-6 days in a row.
Yeah.
I'm not built to play 5 or 6 days in a row with the heat that we're having as well. I mean, it's been 95 plus degrees, the last 4 days, essentially?
Yep.
So that's the beginning of it. But Wednesday night, we play our 2-man match play. Ends up getting washed out after 10 holes. We actually make a really good comeback. I started to figure some things out. So we're actually all square. We got to go back and finish it. I don't know when we're going to do that. It's not happening this week. But started figuring things out. Played in a scramble Thursday. Great. Hit the ball fine. Whatever. Scrambles are scrambles. I don't really try to judge anything. Played Friday, money game. Played pretty good. Lost a lot of money, but played pretty good. That happens when you're playing with a bunch of 18 handicaps. And then, so we had our club championship Saturday and Sunday. And I've pinpointed the exact hole that I have not been the same since this hole.
Yeah.
It's just not been the same. And it's like putting mentally just not the same since this hole. So I get off to a pretty good start. I do double my fourth hole. I got the 1 under, doubled, 1 over. It was a stupid double, 3-putt. Like, had a shot, just didn't hit the proper shot, chipped up, 3-putt, double. But I made a pretty good comeback. I birdied 5, 8, and 9. So I make the turn at 2 under. I'm like, we're rolling. Like, no woes. Like, I'm hitting the ball really good. And for reference, I've missed 2 greens on Saturday.
Right.
Like, I hit 16 greens. And not like, snuck them on the green. Like, I was hitting things close, too. Like, I was hitting them inside 15 feet. Hit some really good shots on the first start of the back 9. Just couldn't get anything to fall. Like, hit some pretty piss poor putts. Like, just not getting the ball there. Then another one on 5, straight up the hill, like, left it dead in the jaws, like, a few inches short, which I'm not mad about, right? It's like, I would rather leave things a hair short than, like, blowing things by. Like,
Sure.
That's when you get in trouble, right? I mean, it is. Like, I've become a die at the hole putter, and I've realized it, like, until now, has, like, cut down on my 3 putts. Like, it's got a chance to go in, and you're going to leave putts short doing that, right?
Sure.
So we get on 6T. I'm looking at my chops. I'm like, I'm 2 under. I've got the easiest stretch, three holes in a row. Easiest stretch on the golf course. I think some people might disagree with that because they don't think of par 5s like we do.
Sure.
But, like, I think it's the easiest stretch. And whenever I play, if I'm playing good and I get to those holes, like, or however I play those holes is how good my round's going to be. So, like, if I play them at 1 or 2 under, round's going to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I consistently play those holes like 1 or 2 under, like all the time. Get on 6T, hit it a little left. We find it. I hit it up, hit it to like 8 feet. This is the moment that I've realized, like, I don't know what happened in my mind, but I got mind fucked. I 3-putt from 8 feet, like, run it by, like, I had a pretty tough putt, but I ran it by like 4 feet, didn't even hit the hole.
Yeah.
Coming back. And I'm like, oh boy. Then we get on the next hole. I hit it green high. It's a drivable par 4. Hit it up to like 12 feet. 3-putt. It's like 8. I hit it to like 15 feet. I had a chip shot, hit to like 15 feet. 2-putted that. We get the 9. I hit my drive a little left. Don't have much. I hit it in the greenside bunker, which I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Hit it up to like 8 feet. 3-putted. Walk off 18 or 9 red. Do my scorecard. I just kept telling him, I'm breaking this putter today. Like, it's getting broken. And didn't realize it at the time. Like, I wasn't hitting a lot of bad putts until the end. I had 36 putts on Saturday. 16 greens, 36 putts, and shoot 2 over.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not great.
And I signed my scorecard. I grabbed the putter out of my bag and snap it over my knee, literally right by the concession stand. A lot of people saw it. I don't think anybody was like mad at me for doing it.
It was a public execution.
It was a public execution. I told her head pro Sean, I was like, this thing's not making it to the car. Like, I'm going to break it right here. And I snapped it over my knee. It felt so good. I realized that if I didn't do that, I was going to be mad the rest of the day. And I did it, and I just moved on with my day. I'm like, whatever. Just move on. Man. Second day, I go to the original Scotty. I actually hit some really good putts yesterday. Made some putts. Made more than I did the first day. Just didn't. The putting started leaking into my full swing. Like, when you realize, like, oh my God, I have to hit it to like 4 feet to make a birdie. Like, that's kind of where my mindset was. Sure. So it started putting more stress on my full swing. Just had a couple lazy shots, but I shot 75. I felt like I pretty much got everything out of that round that I probably could have. But yeah, I think I came in third. Shout out to Mark Gruber. He played phenomenal. I mean, he's got a lab putter. I'm telling you, the further I slip into this abyss, it's becoming more becoming more intriguing to get one of those things. I mean,
you might become a JJ Spawn doppelganger at this point. Get a lab player. People are going to talk.
But yeah, but that hole, I have not been the same since that hole. And I don't know what that 3-putt did to me. I don't know if it was just like I wasn't putting great to that point, and it just like triggered me. I don't know. But it bled into the day. Actually, I thought I was trending. I think I sent that. I was like, I'm trending. That back 9 on Sunday at the club championship, I was like, I did a lot of things well. I actually hit some really good putts, made a couple, but I don't ever judge my putting on like making putts. If I hit it where I meant to hit it,
sure,
and it doesn't go in, it is what it is, right? But so I was like, I'm trending, and then we got to the day, and it was like I don't know like what to compare it to, like you tell your friend you're like, I'm not that drunk, and then you have like that next shot, but you were already drunk.
Yeah.
And then the wheels fall off. That's kind of what happened today.
Yeah, the wheels were fully blown off. Admittedly, I was tracking your scores, and I texted Nick, and I was like, 4 over 7.
Not great.
Not great. And then I checked back in, I was like, ooh.
We've lost contain.
We've lost it. Yeah, I don't know how much you want to talk about the round.
I'm gonna own it. I shot 86 today. Yeah. I had 40 putts doing so. Again, had one bad swing because I did take a triple, but like other than that, I like didn't have a. I had so many, and for people that have never played this course, Elks Run, it has a lot of knobs in it, and they put everything like right on knobs. So like there's runoffs like on each side of the hole. Yeah. And you do have to be kind of careful, but you also have to accept the fact that if you have a lag putt, you're going to have to make like a 3 or 4 footer. Like it just is what it is. Like it's really hard to get the balls to stop within a foot of the hole.
Sure.
I think I did it once today. Like for the most part, I'd hit it, and it's like I hit a good putt, and it ran out 3 feet, like 3.5 feet, 4 feet. And I think I told you guys, like I can safely say I never made a putt outside of 3.5 feet today. Like none. And I had a ton of them.
Total feet of putts for the day was
it had to be maybe. I mean, maybe. I mean, I had a 4 putt. I had multiple 3 putts. And I got in the beginning, I got bogeyed to death.
Yeah.
I got bogeyed to death. And then from there, it was just like, the wheels fell off. Yeah. Like it just got to the point where I was like, it was so exhausting being in the heat, getting bogeyed to death, and essentially not after 2 full swings, not being able to do anything. Like right. I'm like, actually, I had some chips today. I pitched the ball pretty good. Like I'm hitting them up to like 3.5, 4 feet. I'm not even hitting a hole. Right. And I told you, I went and videotaped my putting. I'm like, is it my putting stroke? And it's not. Like I'm on plane, like, but I told you that Scotty has the milling is worn off.
Sure.
And what I did notice in there was like this thing was either backspinning off the putter or it was knuckleballing. And I'm like, you're never gonna hit if you can't get it. I know it pops up in the air. Like that's gonna happen. Like the putter does have loft, but if you can't get it with forward spin on it.
Right.
You're fucked. You're never going to hit a putt on line.
No, you're never going to hit a line, yeah. That's just tough.
So it was a tough day, but I get Coldstream tomorrow. And the whole point of tomorrow is just like go out and try to shoot as low as possible. I'm not going to make match play. I've accepted that, but if I go out and put up a 70 on the board, or God forbid I break 70, it's going to be tough there. But if I put like even a 72 or 73 up on the board, I'll feel good about it.
Yeah, I mean, 13 shot improvement.
Yeah.
I think you would take that right now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Man. Yeah, well, thank you for bearing it all. Hopefully it was a little cathartic for you.
It felt good to get it out.
How's your high noon doing?
I think we need another one after that.
You want cranberry again, or you want to mix it?
Yeah, give me the cranberry. That is really good. But
for my guy,
I've officially, the last thing on Elks Run, that course is in my head too. Like it just is, and it's in my head. Like I make mistakes out there that I normally don't make it. Not just at our home course, because like it's easy to be like, oh, I play well at my home course.
Yeah.
at any course. Like, I just do the dumbest shit out there, and it makes no sense. And that's what happens. Like, it just leads to, like, bogey. And that course is pretty wide open. So, like, other than a couple holes, like, a loose swing, you kind of get away with it. But you get in a position where it's like, you're, like, struggling to make par.
Right.
So it can do that. It's just like, they just start adding up.
What happened on one for you?
So, that might have been my worst, one of my second worst driver's swing. I hit it good. It just overcut. I got into the fairway bunker, and I had like a 67-yard bunker shot. And I was kind of on an upslope, so I was like, okay, 56 is completely out. So I've got to go I went down to a 50. And I'm like, just normal swing, just pop it, like hit ball first. And just fucking smoked it over the green.
Yeah.
I actually hit it was a back pin, which is the worst. I kept telling myself, like, if I'm going to make a mistake, chunk it.
Yeah.
Like, chunk it into the front bunker and hit a really good flop shot up to like 6 feet. It was a pretty great flop shot and just missed the butt, so.
Hot start,
yeah.
Oh, man. All right, well, good luck at Coldstream. I hope you at least enjoy the round.
Hey.
It's going to be another hot one.
Well, their food and bev was not open today, from what I heard. It is open tomorrow. I got an afternoon tea time. It might just be an early happy hour.
Yeah, exactly. Pick it up right. For sure, the back 9 6-pack is locked.
It might be a front 9 6-pack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, on to professional golf. A wild tournament. I don't know how much of this you caught or not.
I did. Enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have to get into all of it, but people know by now. Keegan Bradley won. Tommy Fleetwood choked again. This might be the worst of the.
This is the worst.
Close calls.
100%.
He bogeyed 2 of his last 3 holes, left it short, and then left his pitch outside of Keegan's mark to give him the line.
Essentially give him the line. Yeah.
Just really bad. Shout out to Tommy, though. He did go talk to media after, unlike some people would.
There's a lot of people that would not have done that.
A ton of raw emotion for him, and credit to him too is like he really focused on trying to take away the positive, even though he admitted he was like really pissed off about it.
Oh, I mean, he should be.
Yeah. So yeah, that I have the next section in here is Ryder Cup checking because we haven't done one officially yet. It's
getting interesting.
It's getting very interesting, especially after this result specifically. Yeah. Down the leaderboard just a little bit. Tied for second with Fleetwood was Russ Henley. Tied for fourth, Harris English and Jason Day. Notables, T6, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, T9, JT, T14, our boy Ben Griffin, along with JJ Spawn. So good showing, I think, coming off of the U.S. Open hangover to T14. Some not so goods here. T36 for Ludwig just still seems not right. Hasn't been right since he won.
Which I don't hate that being a Ryder Cup year.
No, but you're going to hate the next two. T42 for Colin Morikawa. T61 for Xander, who just...
He seems lost as well.
Truly. And then hate this even more. First round withdrawal for our king, Jordan Spieth.
Not great.
Listed here with the shoulder, back, and neck. He had
falling apart.
He had I guess, whatever this is, a scapula, whatever.
Yeah.
Locked up on him and then just started getting worse. So he withdrew. And then Victor Hovland withdrew yesterday with a neck. So interesting.
Yeah, and I think Jordan Spieth's pretty much done for the Ryder Cup unless he somehow wins like the Open or something like that.
Yeah. So
I don't think there's any amount of regular wins that are going to get him to the points that he needs.
No, the point. So let's just dive into this now. So do you want to go through the standings here, or do you want to hear my conspiracy theory?
I want to hear your conspiracy theory first.
Okay.
Because it might sway my opinion.
Did Luke Donald make the call to Tommy to give the win to Keegan just to mind fuck the American team and put us in a pretzel?
Where they're just like, now they're going to need a new captain because
potentially, Keegan, or to make him have to make this decision just to if he is a playing captain, that just seems like not an ideal situation to have.
Which honestly, that's the one thing when they picked him that I was kind of like,
he hadn't made the team since 2012.
I know, but it's you kind of saw the writing on the wall. Like he was kind of in discussions, not and for Italy, he was not like, oh, this is like someone that's getting, left off, right?
He was like the last cut.
But it was kind of like, he's playing better right now. Like, he just, he wanted Travelers, he had started to play well, and it was like maybe do we get, do you give him a shot? So it wasn't like completely out of the discussion that he wasn't definitely not going to be on 2 years ago team.
No,
so
I literally think he was probably like the last one or two guys to not make
yeah, probably.
Sure.
So that's why I'm like, knowing that, it's like, was a little surprising that they picked him as a captain. So
I mean, Tommy feels like the ultimate team guy. I think he fell on the sword for his captain, just to to let this work out. So on the Keegan note, going into this, he had said, he's not going to use a pick on himself. He would qualify would be like the only way that he's going to get on the team.
Yeah.
Little change of tone if you listen to his quotes this weekend in response to him winning. Yeah, it's insane. My whole life, every year I was out here. I wanted to play in the Ryder Cup team. And then this would be the first year where maybe I didn't want to. I just wanted to be the captain. And of course, this is what happens. But we'll see. I'm going to do whatever I think is best for the team, whether that's me on the team. This certainly changed a lot of things. I was never going to play on the team unless I had won a tournament. And so that's changed, but we'll see. Leaving the door open for himself. I think he has to. I mean,
well, if he finishes seventh, you almost got to pick yourself. Like, you can't, because it's for the betterment of the team, right? For him to be playing. Like, he's clearly playing. I mean, I'm looking at the list, like, he's playing better than like 3 or 4 of the guys that are in the top 6 right now.
Yeah. So to run this down, we know Scotty's already locked up a spot, but here's the next, 2 through 12 right now. Top 6 would qualify. Xander, JJ Spawn, Russell Henley, Bryson, JT, and then you get into the captain picks territory. Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Keegan, Harris English, Mav McNeely, and Brian Harman. That's 1 through 12 right now. I don't think that's the 12, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But the American team usually doesn't stray too far from
they don't
where the points fall.
No. I mean, ZJ did it a little bit with like JT
but
and stuff like
JT
that.
Was like really
he was maybe 13th or 14th or something like that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. My first take on this team, number one, if Bryson's not automatically qualified, because there's probably a situation where he might not be if he doesn't play well at the Open. He should definitely be on this team regardless.
Yeah, that's 100%. I think he's a lock. But who do you think on this list is a potential lock? Regardless if they're auto-qualified or not. We know Scotty, obviously. It feels like Xander, Bryson, JT. He's won this year.
And I'll tell you what, I would find it hard to believe anybody right now would not take Ben Griffin.
Yeah, I don't know if I think he's a lock, though. Like, I mean, I
think he's like a couple more tournaments, good finishes at tournaments from being a lock. I mean, it's getting close. I mean, he didn't even play his best this weekend. He T14.
I think Henley's a lock.
I think Russell Henley's probably a lock. But if you're looking at these top 12, I don't think Harris English is going to be on the team unless he auto qualifies. I don't think Brian Hartman's going to be on the team unless he auto qualifies.
I don't think Mav would be.
I don't think Mav is going to be on the team unless he auto qualifies.
Yeah. Okay, so now if you go down the board of notables, just like in the rankings here, Cantlay's sitting at 14th. I would consider him most often a lock, but he's just not.
No, he's not. No.
But I think he's going to get that JT treatment of like his record in the event's going to.
And it was. I mean, he was kind of the only guy that showed up to Italy.
Yeah, him and Max.
That was about it.
15th right there too is Burns, who I put you on this list if you had played in one previously or you have sniffed around it a lot. Burns is 15th. 18th is Berger, hasn't played in one since Whistling Straits. Tony Finau, 19th.
Yeah.
Wyndham was on the team last time, but he's fallen all the way to 22nd. And
yeah, good.
People don't seem to
he's like him. He's like the new Patrick Reed.
He's got a little bit of that vibe to him for sure. But now here's where it gets really tricky. Spieth is at 25th.
Out.
Homa, 36th.
Out.
And this is weird because of the live stuff, but Brooks is 65th. also feels like he's out to me.
Yeah, Brooks is definitely. He's just not played. Like, that's why I said if Bryson falls out, I think the last 2 years he's proven that he's probably top 3, top 4 golfer in the entire world right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was...
I mean, his run in majors just last year probably locked it up for him.
For sure.
A win and, a second. And, like, his major year last year was pretty incredible.
Yeah, no doubt. I was kind of workshopping this take a little bit in our group chat while you were shooting 86, sorry. But Gunther and I were going back and forth. And I came to the realization that I think it's almost an advantage to the European team that they have, like, fewer options.
Yeah, it's just like, here's 12 guys, and it's like, pick from these. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just not as deep. A lot of the people that are
on
the
like
team,
they really probably 16 guys. They got like 16 guys. You're like, all right, they could probably play in the Ryder Cup.
Right, but their objective is always solely, let's make the best team.
Yeah, and it always feels like it just crumbles the right way, where it's just like, these are the guys. Like, and no one really argues it, right?
Right, and then even if it's, like last time around, Rose wasn't playing great or anything, but he was a fit. They knew he was a locker room guy.
Yeah.
And they have that stuff. The American side does not have that. We end up with this. Brian Harmon wins his way on the team. Wyndham Clark wins his way on the team. And it's like we get stuck in this trap of rewarding guys for having like a good year or year and a half instead of like
what's going to be the best team.
To make the best team.
Yeah.
And it might mean that we have to go, even though he's played like ass, if Tony Finau he's the best fit for best.
The only
base.
problem he just his putting for match play right now, or even alternate shot, is just not near. I mean, the guy was putting one-handed on Sunday at the Memorial.
I agree with you. My point is like,
I know what you're saying, and I think that more goes for like a JT, right?
Sure.
Yes, he's not probably played the best in the last 3 or 4 years, but he's kind of. And he doesn't have the same record, but he's kind of like he's the guy, right? Like, it's like you kind of just have to put him on the team for a locker room aspect.
Yeah,
of it.
I also think they're afraid. There's too many egos and too many politics. Where like, look, take Spieth on this team and just only play him in four ball.
Yep.
Don't let him touch foursomes. Just because him and JT are buddies and they play well together.
He should never, ever play foursomes.
But you might catch him in that one day where he's going to make 10 birdies. And that's what you need. You don't need...
Or he's just going to mind fuck people because he's going to be making pars and tying holes that he has no business doing.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, let him go play four ball twice, and then you got to throw him out for singles, obviously. But yeah, like, we have too much pride and too much ego to just like try to use the stats to our advantage, try to like use the course fit to our advantage, all this stuff. And that, I think, is where the big flaw in like the lead up for this is.
No, I agree. I just think there's a couple guys like a JT that it's like, look, I know he's not playing great, but like, it's kind of just one of those things. But I think, I mean, I look at this list and it's kind of disgusting. Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to lie. If you'd have showed me this list at Whistling Straits, like, here's going to be your team the next time this lands on American soil, I don't know if I'd have believed you.
No. I mean, your worst player on the team is probably Harris English, and you got to take Scotty Scheffler as your 12th guy.
And
before he was Scotty's capital S Scotty.
Yeah.
The things that have happened since then, like guys that have lost their game.
And I think it's led the way to allow guys like, and this is not a shot because I don't actually hate Brian Harmon like you do.
Yeah.
But it's led to guys squeaking through the cracks like a Brian Harmon or a Mad McNeely or, I don't want to say Ben Griffin snuck through the cracks because he's played unbelievably well.
Yeah.
But like those guys, Wyndham Clark 2 years ago, squeezing through the cracks. Like, that's been the problem with some of these fall offs from these guys that are not that old, that it's led to, oh my God, we've got a 27-year-old that's never played in the Ryder Cup, and he's probably going to be on the team. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's 4 years later, and you have Cantlay, Spieth, Brooks. That's three, Berger even, if you want to count him. That's three guys that were on that team at Whistling Straits that set a record for, the biggest beatdown ever.
Yeah.
And they can't even sniff the top 12 right now. Like That is the problem. The guys that should be the stalwart, that we thought were going to be the stalwarts for the next
They're not.
4 Ryder Cups, they've just abdicated their throne. Basically.
Yeah, they have fallen off a steep cliff. And it's funny. It's like, Scotty was like probably the last guy on that team, and Whistling Straits, and he's turned out to be like kind of like the main guy, which is kind of crazy. And I think he played well in that. But I think if you told me 4 years ago, it's like Scotty Scheffler is going to become the best golfer in the world, I'd probably be like, you're like no chance. Like, sure, there's just but again, not with guys like Brooks was playing good at that point. Bryson started to kind of become like this long ball hitter that was kind of figuring out how to putt and chip and stuff.
Yeah,
it was like all these guys were starting to get good. If you would have told me like Scotty Scheffler is going to be the best golfer in the world 4 years from now, I'd have taken the bet for any other guy that was probably on that team other than Scotty.
Yeah, pretty close. Maybe outside of Harris English.
Yeah, maybe outside of Harris English and maybe Tony Finau
too. Yeah,
but other than that, it's like I would have probably bet on any of those other guys to be far beyond number one player in the world, not Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, and back then it was like you debated like 2 spots. We're like debating like 6.
Yeah, that team I remember was like who's going to get the last 2 spots. It pretty much was a foregone conclusion who most of the guys were going to be.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. A lot to figure out between now and then. What do you think? One, do you think Keegan should be on the team?
I think so. Depending on how his year finishes up.
Sure.
Like if he finishes strong, maybe not even a win, but if he's like top 20, top 25, it's going to be really hard for him to look at everybody and go like, I'm not playing because I want to be a captain. That would be because then it's like, dude, that you're the captain for the reason. Like these are the hard decisions. You should be on the team. You're playing some of the best golf out of anybody. To make that decision for him not to play, I think would be a mistake if he finishes strong.
Yeah. I mean, it's an impossible situation to be in. Because to your point, like if he is playing that well and he doesn't auto qualify, I think the guys would feel like he would be letting him down if he didn't play. But on the flip side, if he picks himself and then sucks,
and like there's been talks, like people talking like, are they going to replace him? Right? Like if they've decided that he is going to be on the team, whether he auto qualifies or whatever, are they just going to be like, hey, we don't want this, we want to replace him? Mm-hmm. I think that's a bad idea.
I agree. I feel like they need to have some sort of plan for this, at least an idea of like.
I will say this: America has a lot of great vice captains. Not a lot of guys that have made good captains, but I think your Jim Furyk's, who's like behind the scenes. That's perfect for him.
Sure,
like let him be behind the scenes and following matches and coaching guys up. Like I'm good with him being a vice captain. Fred Couples, great vice captain. Like they have a lot of vice captains where it's like if Keegan's out on the course, they got it. Like. They're not a lot of great captains, but like really, really good vice captains.
I mean, I think they've got Sneds, who's got the President's Cup next year.
Yeah.
Kiz is going to be a vice captain. There's someone, who else is one of the vice captains? I'm trying to look this up.
But what I'm saying is there's a lot of good guys that don't make good captains, but they're really good vice captains. Like being in the spotlight is not Jim Furyk's thing, right? Like,
no.
But he's a great vice captain, and I don't know if he is a vice captain. He has been the last couple years, other than the year he was a captain.
Yeah, it's Furyk, Kiz, Webb Simpson, and Brandt Snedeker.
Yeah, I see. Like those guys are like perfect. Like those are good vice. Like you can trust them if you're out on the course, right? So I think they do have that going on. I think that probably is going to sway Keegan. Like maybe he only does play like one match outside of singles, right? That is very likely, unless they're struggling, and maybe he plays a couple, but. Two halves of the day, you're not the captain. Like you're not that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I really don't think it's. I don't think it's as bad as people like. Well, you just got to replace him. Like and like Tiger. It's like, well, I think Tiger's openly said it. He didn't like. He's not super interested in being a Ryder Cup captain.
No, not at this point.
Not right now.
I think he's gonna call a shot when he feels like it's like an auto dub coming up.
Yeah, he's looking at this team how we're looking at it and going. Yeah, it's going to be a toss-up, and I don't think he wants that.
No. All right, well, flipping over to the European team, I think it's a lot more cut and dry, as you'd imagine.
Yeah, I think there's just like they've got like 9 or 10 guys that are like these are definitely going to be on the team, and then they're probably another 4 or 5 guys that are like, all right, they could be on the team.
I think you could say that they have 10 locks.
That's what I think. I mean, I was assuming that's about.
Yeah.
I was thinking 9 or 10 locks probably.
So in order 1 through 12 right now, Rory is already qualified, and then you have Fleetwood, Hatton, Bobby Mack, Shane Lowry, Seb Straka. Rasmus Højgaard 7th. I think he's not a lock of this bunch. But we'll see.
He's too volatile.
Yeah. Then you get Ludwig, Justin Rose, Victor Hovland. Then you get Dietrich and Wallace. So that's like, I think you got like 8 or 9 locks in that group.
Yeah. The only thing I will say about Rasmus is he is a bomber.
Yeah, which you
is probably not a terrible fit for Bethpage.
But then down in the notable section here, John Rahm's 17th. He's going to be on the team, obviously.
Yeah, there's no way he gets left off the team.
So I think that's like
specifically how he's played in a couple of the majors this year. It's like he's not going to not be on.
He's like their second best player. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then 14th right now, Aaron Rye. 16th, Thorbjorn Olsen. Somehow is 16th. It blows my mind. Matt Fitzpatrick, 29th. Hasn't been a good Ryder Cupper, but in theory would fit better.
See, and he's one of those guys that they're just going to look at just like he's a locker room guy. He kind of is. I mean, he's like loved by everybody on that team. I mean,
it's a major champion, and if he's like your 10th or 11th guy, you play him in 2 or 3 matches. Sure.
It's not the end of the world,
right?
Yeah.
Rasmus' brother Nikolai, 34th right now, and then I threw on Alex Noren as 80th, but like has been playing good golf since coming back from injury.
Yeah.
And he's played in Ryder Cups before. And then Sergio's 172. I don't think they would do it, but he did start the year pretty hot.
He did. He's kind of fallen off a pretty steep cliff.
And I don't think it's in the cards for him, but you never know. Weirder stuff's happening.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I don't have too much to say. The only thing with them is like Ludwig not playing great. Hovland's got an injury. Rose had the good Masters, hasn't done much since. Lowry is like fallen off the planet since golf got hard. So they've got some question marks around that, but overall...
Well, I'll tell you this. I feel a little better today than I did probably a month ago.
I think so, too.
Just with how some of their guys were playing. It was like, I'm not going to lie, it made me a little nervous. Like, damn, is Victor figuring this thing out like a couple months out? Like, yeah. I'm like, that's going to end well for us. Like, you know what I mean? But I will say a month ago, I was looking, some of their guys were playing, Rahm's playing well in majors. I'm like, fuck, dude, we're so
the beginning of the season was like every European won.
I know.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's cooled off since, and I think you're right. I think the team on the U.S. side has started to shape a little bit more.
Yes.
And you're feeling a little more comfortable with guys like, Ben Griffin, for example.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just a flash in the pan. It clearly seemed
Yeah, it's like, okay, he's kind of put a pretty good 2 months together at this point. It's like he might be, it might stick.
Right. So,
where it's like, you had a Brian Harman that won the Open, like did nothing else, like literally nothing else the entire year. Yeah. So I feel good about Ben, but yeah, I feel a lot better about Ben than I did Brian Harman 2 years ago.
Yeah, it'd be great to have a good little summer for some guys that are a little farther down the board for us, just to fill that back in a little bit.
But what's crazy is we say that it was like, well, the rest of the summer, it's like we have no more elevated events left. We have one more major left. And we're not even in July, which feels like a major scheduling issue for the PGA Tour. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, that's why you have the playoffs, man. Shit matters, okay? All right. Well, speaking of Ben Griffin and no more signature events, we took him in the Travelers. T14, $360,000 into the account, and we still lost ground. 3,444th place, not looking good. Just shy of $5 million. The Rocket Classic. They dropped the mortgage part, just the Rocket Classic.
Yeah, that's their like main company now.
Kind of sick, though. We don't have very many guys to go with here, to be honest with you. I don't think Keegan's going to win back-to-back. Do you think he's going to win back-to-back? I don't think so.
You mean Ricky?
Keegan. I'm saying
back-to-back tournaments. No, I don't think so. But, Ricky won here last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah. It was I think he won here last year. I could be wrong about that. I'm not a fact checker.
Time is a flat surface.
I'm pretty sure it was last year.
We're on the odds board right now, so I can figure out who won.
Yeah, he definitely won here last year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, God, he's way down. Is he even playing?
He might not be playing.
Sponsor's obligation for this, right?
That's what I thought. Maybe he's not sponsored by them anymore.
Hold on, I can search. That's a good idea. Ricky Fowler.
No, Cam Davis won last year. So it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. Cam Davis, man. Yeah, I look. It's tough. Do you want to go Scam Young?
Is he going to finally get his win? And he's going to get a win. And he's going to find his way to weasel onto the Ryder Cup team. I can already feel it.
He's in the teens in the standings, so he's sniffing around. T2 in 2022 and T6 in 2024 here. But he finished 52nd last week, and it was like double city for him. So I don't know what's going on.
Is Min Woo playing?
You're a sick man.
He played well last year.
Yeah, T2 last year has not done his last 5 or T63 cut, T49 cut. T51.
No, but we always talk about how it's like you get on a course that you've played well on before, and it maybe triggers some things.
Yeah, but I don't know about that. It's not good. I mean, it's not like it's a big money event. We kind of do whatever we want. We're way the hell out of it anyway.
Is JJ playing this week?
No,
he's not. Okay,
don't see him here.
I
wish I knew if Thor Bjornsson was healthy because I would just be like take a flyer on that. But
this is. I mean, it's tight. Premium on hitting fairways and greens because of it's a Donald Ross.
Well, I think it's actually more of like a bomber's track.
Or sorry, yeah. I mean, I shouldn't say tight. I'm just saying it's a premium of like
hitting
greens, yeah, and like above average putting probably.
Akshay came second last year. This is just a lot of bad options. Davis Thompson T2 here last year.
Yeah, and he's pretty high on the odds board too.
35-1. What's Siwoo doing? I don't mind Siwoo when irons matter. Not a lot.
No, he's not playing well.
God, Hideki's been bad.
I think we got to go with Scam Young. As bad as that sounds.
When else are we going to use him, right?
Yeah, I'd say he's the guy.
He's going to be such a popular pick. Watch, but whatever.
He's got to be the guy.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Scam.
Oh, God.
This
I'm going to have to go take another shower tonight.
Yeah, you should. Take a second shower, yeah. All right. Cameron Young, official one and done pick for the back.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't stop looking at Tiger with his broken putter.
I know. It's definitely... and if people don't know, like these came with when you used to buy the T-Dub Nike balls. Like you got a bobble. They ran like a promo where you got a bobblehead when you bought those balls.
How the hell did I not get any?
I don't know. We got them. I went to when we went to Dick's, to get those balls. They had those, and I think it was like it wasn't. I would say a promo. I think you had to pay like $10 or something for it. If you got it, it was like 30 without the balls, and it was like 10 if you bought a dozen balls or something like that.
Yeah, we've come full circle because this polo is now like a Sunday red special. We're old, pal.
Yeah, that's his USAM. Was that Sawgrass? Correct? Yeah. Yeah.
Was it Sawgrass?
Yeah, it was.
That wasn't the Pumpkin Ridge one?
No, it was Sawgrass. Okay. That's where he wore that shirt at.
I think you're right.
Where he makes that putt off the back of the green on 17. Yeah. Yeah, they're cool, though. I love them. I've had them forever. I think I got them back in like 2001 or something like that. So
good.
And then we had a kid break his putter. So that's awesome.
Yeah. It runs in
Can't have nice things.
In the family, so you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're at the bar, but it is patio beers time. I don't really have a question for tonight, to be honest.
I've got a good one.
Well, let me do this real quick because what I wanted to show. Did you see Ross Tucker? So you know who Ross Tucker is from like NFL analyst. Former lineman.
Yeah.
He was going around on social media. He posted this picture. I'll show it to you in a second. He says, "Don't really golf. I'm at Jason Kelsey's tournament. Remembered I had clubs. Didn't know my wife threw my bag away because it disintegrated." He rolls up to the course with these old ping clubs in a cardboard box. And so I just saw that and I was like, man, this would be the best thing I saw in golf this week.
Oh, 100%.
If I could. Would you ever roll up to a course like with that as your golf bag? Just strap the cardboard box on the back of the car?
I think I would.
Yeah, I think you would too.
I would.
Yeah.
I 100% would. Although I'm literally staring at, I've got 4 golf bags everywhere. I've got one upstairs, so I've got 5 golf bags.
You do.
I did sell a golf bag in a yard sale about 2 weeks ago, so I don't think I'd ever have to, but I would.
Yeah.
Like if I was like, oh, my bag got damaged and I flew somewhere, I would definitely do that.
How would do you think you just didn't have time to go run to Dick's or whatever? And
It's not a money thing. I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I think he just was like, this is good enough.
So
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
I don't know.
Could you imagine? It was like 7 holes in. You're just like, my bag's gone.
Yeah.
It's like it just got doused in the rain.
So you have 4 bags.
Yeah.
Okay. I have 2, and one of them is basically unusable because the ball pocket rips. So like anytime you put balls in it, they go in the bottom of the bag. Just can't really use it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got 2. I got 2 bags when I was in college. The other one came from our and a listener, our old neighbor. He sent me that. I think it's actually a Muirfield Village golf bag. His son caddied there. So shout out to Mike. They moved to Florida, and he was just like, "Hey, this thing's just taking up room." He's like, "Do you want it?" I'm actually going to have one of our kids use it here soon because she needs a bigger bag to fit on her push cart. So she's going to get that one. That's going to be the starter kit for her.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think I'd ever have to do that, but I would do that if I had to. 100%.
Jeez. All right. What's your question? We'll get to yours.
All right. So it made me think of this because have you heard the song Pink Pony Club?
Yes.
So I've seen a lot of like reels and stuff where it's like, you're a middle-aged dad and you don't want people to see you dance into the song or whatever.
Yeah.
So my question is like, do you have a song that you love that you're like ashamed to listen to it in front of like a group of people and like maybe sing it because you probably know the words?
Man. Great question. I don't really know that I'm ashamed of it, but I think the one that came to mind was You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
That song fucking rips, dude.
I do. I like that song. I do like that
Would
song.
I want to be like caught singing that in front of my
Probably not.
I would not want to.
Yeah.
But that song bangs.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good example. I think like Shania Twain, I feel like a woman. Like as a man, it's kind of weird to be singing, but it's a good song. Like I like it.
I think people respect Shania enough and kind of know that it's like
it's a
classic kind of song.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'll say this, like Pink Pony Club, like it's a catchy tune. It's catchy.
Yeah.
It is catchy. I don't know the words to it, but it's definitely catchy. I was trying to think of another one. Like I think like any NSYNC song probably.
Yeah, I mean I've got NSYNC and Backstreet like memorized.
I could easily sing. Yeah, I could easily sing the songs. I don't know if I'd want anybody catching me singing the songs.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of something else. Like
I mean, we've talked about it on the show before, but my first CD / album I ever owned was Britney Spears' "Baby One More Time." So I've got that memorized.
Yeah,
so that's pretty tough.
I think it's like you could pretty much for a man narrow it down to like any woman singing a song. Essentially, that's super feminine too.
Yeah, I think it's more like the pop.
Yeah.
Type stuff. That gets
like country is different. I feel like it probably is a little. That's why I think I feel Shania Twain and all that. Like that's kind of in its own genre.
Yeah.
But like that, the example you gave is perfect. I think that's like it's kind of poppy, rockish, chick. I think you could probably throw any heart song in there. Most heart songs, given they're all chicks. Because it's kind of rock popish, kind of.
I mean, Spice Girls, you kind of like
Spice Girls or like TLC, like Chasing Waterfalls. Like, I don't know if I'd ever want to be. It's a fucking great song, but I don't know if I'd want to be caught singing it.
Yeah, I mean, I know like pretty much the entire Hamilton soundtrack. That's if you want to go down the Broadway route, like that's always a little.
I probably know too much Wicked at this point.
That's why I was transitioning. It's like I don't have that in my life, but I know that's a thing for you.
I probably know too many songs in the Wicked soundtrack.
That's girl dad props.
Yeah, I mean, look, but I'm not gonna lie. Some of the songs they're kind of bangers. Like, they're catchy. Like I know the words. I'll sing it. I'll sing it with my kids in the car. I will not sing it in front of anybody.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even think about going the Broadway route. Like there's probably even more that I'm not even thinking of.
Oh, there always are. Yeah.
But
I think it's a pretty good synopsis.
Yeah. The first one you had, I thought was the best one, honestly.
Thank you.
Like, especially like 90s pop chick stuff.
I don't
like,
care. I stand by that song.
Oh, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
God, that's a good question. Man, these high noons were good tonight.
Oh my God. This cranberry. I'm not gonna lie. Any berry drink always terrifies me a little bit of like it could be cough medicine. But this is pretty good.
I gotta get you one of these pears. Pears.
I love pears. Ever tell you the story about like the first time I ever ate a pear?
No.
I was a freshman in college, and one of the golf courses, it was like a goat track.
In college.
It's the first time I ever had a pear.
Read a book, pal.
and we had this guy on our team named Kissel. He was a big country boy. Like he was just like one of our walk-ons, super cool guy.
Yeah.
But he was big, and he scared the shit out of me. And one of the goat tracks that we'd go out and play every so often when like the club had a event or something like that.
Yeah.
They had pear trees everywhere.
Huh.
And like he's over there, like I'm playing with him, and like he's picking pears off the tree. And he's like, my nickname in college was Smiley. He's like, "Hey, Smiley, here, pear." I've never had a pear. I don't really want. He looks at me and goes, "Eat it." Yes, sir. And that was the first time I was like, fuck, these are pretty good.
Yeah. It's just like a green-shaped apple.
It's like he threatened me, and I tried it, and it was good. So that was the first time I had a pear. But pears rock. They do. I'm almost more of a pear guy now than I am an apple guy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think I definitely eat apples way more often, but like I could get down with pears.
Canned pears are really good, too.
Kids like canned pears.
I love canned pears.
Canned fruit. It's always too mushy.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Down and dirty with the canned fruits.
No, you got me thinking about Orchard Hills was the place we played our middle school golf at. And they had, obviously, they had apples everywhere.
They did have apples everywhere.
Apples out of the trees all the time while we were playing.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity for some courses.
Yeah.
Like, plant some, like, fruits.
Some fruit trees out there, man.
Like, have a strawberry garden over there or something, feed the people off the land. I mean, there's no better. If add it to our conversation about golf courses we'd design, I would have multiple fruit trees out there. Like you get oranges on one of the holes, you'd have like apples on the next hole. Just line the place with fruit trees.
Well, it's like Purcell Farms or whatever. They had the apples in the
dude.
Cold apples.
There's not. I would say, especially in the summer, specifically this heat we're having right now, a cold fruit like an apple or something.
Good juicy orange.
Oh God, it like cools you down. I think it really does cool you down.
Yeah.
God, I'm kind of hungry now.
I don't think it's time for food. Maybe another high noon.
Yeah.
All right, I think that'll do it for tonight.
Yeah.
Nice, good episode. Talking some of our golf, talking some pro golf, having some nooners. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please always smash like, subscribe, rate, review, all the
criticize.
Send us fan mail, please. That'd be awesome too. Follow us on social media. Six. But yeah. Until next time, guys. Cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.